there's some great questions here as well. So I think that one question is really regarding chief diversity officers preparing for their role, knowing that, right, there is a commonality with high turnover in the position. I think that, right, any insights on, coming into that kind of responsibility, that kind of challenge?
Yeah, I would say, there are lots of things, but I would say probably the top three things that you need to do. One is build your village. So, I think these roles, being a CDO, can be very isolating, not just within your organization, but outside as well. And so, finding other people that are in your industry, cross industry, et cetera, that are also doing this work, it helps you in so many ways. One, it gives you just the camaraderie and the soft place to fall when you have a frustrating day. You will have frustrating days. Two, it gives you a really great thought partner. So if you're thinking about doing something, you can go to those people in your village and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Can I bounce these ideas off of you? And then three, it also gives you a way to not recreate the wheel, because chances are someone in that village has done some of the things that maybe you're thinking about doing. They can tell you how to do them more successfully, how to avoid pitfalls, et cetera. So building that village of DEI practitioners is really key. And that can be as simple as a LinkedIn reaching out, just networking within at conferences or different events that you may go to, and start to build that village. Two is ground yourself in the work. I think one of the biggest challenges is that some organizations don't view diversity, equity, and inclusion as a subject matter that requires expertise. Now, as I said before, I've been doing this work for 20 years. And when I first started it, I didn't know what I was doing, right? I moved over, I had been doing management consulting, and I came into a diversity role. But what I did is I made a commitment to upskill myself. And some of it I did on my own. Some of it I asked my company to do. And you should also be asking your company to help upskill you. But, there are tons of books, articles, podcasts out there that you can read on your own to really immerse yourself and submerge yourself into this topic. So do a lot of reading. There are, if you're new to the space, there are a number of conferences that you can go to. SHRM, Society of Human Resource Management, has an annual one. The Conference Board has a really great DEI conference. Diversity Women has one. I could go on, but that's another really great way to understand the topic and to meet people. And then there's also certifications. If you feel like, I don't know anything at all, you can get certified when it comes to DI. So I think you have a responsibility in this space, not only to upskill yourself in the beginning, but to make it a continuous improvement mindset where you're always learning, because the topic evolves and grows with every single year. I would say the third thing you need to do is build your relationships and partnerships across the organization. So I talked earlier about integration, and that really the role of a CDO is to integrate DEI into everything. So the reality is you will end up playing in a lot of people's sandboxes. The number one thing you can do is, before you start playing in their sandboxes, is build a strong relationship. And so early on in your tenure, just reach out to people, you should have a regular cadence with your key partners in different parts of the organization, get to know them personally, and ask them what they're struggling with and how you can help. Come there with a kind of a servant mindset, like, how can I help you? And the number one thing that you can do is really present yourself as someone who is there to help them. So what I always said is, like, help me help you, and I need you to help me too, right? So we win together. And so I think if you can really drive that kind of relationship and partnership and mindset with the people that you'll be working with every day, with the parts of the organization where change is needed, they don't see you as much as the DEI police or somebody coming in and unveiling all the things they're doing wrong. it's the opposite. It's like, let's kill this together. Like, let's drive change together. And so then you come into it with a really strong partnership and a mindset around winning, to use De Gaulle's last W, that I think can really drive change. But if there is a bit of a confrontation there or adversarial stance, people will, I mean, do everything to make your job more difficult. And so I think it's how you present yourself as a partner and as someone that's there to help, as opposed to an adversary. Now, there may be times you need to challenge them as well, but I think if you build that relationship and people see you as a partner, it certainly helps.
No, that's fantastic.